Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Never Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Hey, welcome to Stocks Never Trading. This is our weekly recap. We're going to do Monday to Friday. We're going to look at all of our news this week. We got flash manufacturing coming in the US this Friday. We'll talk about the implications of that. And we're also going to go over the earnings report. We've got Nvidia reporting on Wednesday, midweek. So we'll talk about all the other corporations leading into earnings, pre-market, and after hours. And then we'll take a look at our US dollar, how it is trading, how it traded into last week's resistance, and where it's trading at right now. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. And this is our website, guys. If you want to join us, stocksnumberstrading.com. There's a free blog available for you guys right here. If you go to blog, these are all of our blogs that we've released for you guys, all for free. Supply and demand strategy, our midweek news earnings recap last week, and the gold sell review, head and shoulder patterns, understanding them, understanding pullbacks, type of order blocks, and gaps and different supply strength zones. And there's a lot of blogs in here, guys. So let's get started this week with Forex Factory. So right now it's Monday evening. It's November 18th. So we've already gone through Monday's news. Hopefully you guys looked at this over the weekend. We had some speakers. FOMC member Goolsby speak this morning. We have ECB President Lagarde that spoke this afternoon, and not much going on Monday today. So let's look into tomorrow. So November 19, Tuesday. If you are trading the European session, there's very, very limited news, not too much going on. We do have at 5 a.m. Eastern the British Monetary Policy Report hearings. So this is very similar to the FOMC minutes. It's kind of a summary of what happened with the last monetary policy with the funds rate, and it's a little summary here. It is a red folder because it will provide a little bit of volatility. So that's 5 a.m. And it's the British pound if you are trading that currency. As we move into 8:30 tomorrow morning, we do have a lot of Canadian red folder news. We've got CPI month over month. We have our median CPI year over year and our trimmed CPI year over year. We have our previous numbers, our previous percentages, and our forecast, and we'll see tomorrow our actual numbers. So if you are trading the Canadian dollar, just be aware that tomorrow morning, 8:30, there's a lot of Canadian red folders. And as we move into the Wall Street session at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, we don't have much coming out of Wall Street news-wise. So just trade careful with the market open tomorrow morning. We have G20 meetings all week. So tomorrow will be day 2. We do have an FOMC member, Schmidt, speaking tomorrow afternoon at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. And then we move into our Tokyo, Sydney, Australia session. We do have some Chinese prime rates, the 1-year loan and the 5-year loan, if you are trading the futures or the Asian market tomorrow. Wednesday, November 20, we do have London news. We got British CPI year over year. We can see the previous this time last year, it was 1.7%. They're forecasting a 0.5% increase in the CPI year over year with the British pound. In UK to 2.2%. So we'll see what the actual number is here, and it will impact the pound if you are trading GBP USD or your Euro USD. Will affect those currencies in Europe. Lots of British folders, and this is all 2 a.m. Eastern. This is pre-London. So London opens up at 3 a.m. So this is 1 hour leading into London. We do have a German 30-year bond auction, and then we move into some speakers, 8 a.m. We have the ECB, England Central Bank, President Lagarde speaking at 8 a.m. Eastern. 10 a.m. we have FOMC member Barr speaking, and then we have our crude oil inventory. So pay attention if you are a crude oil trader. Crude oil is getting at some critical levels right now of demand, and Previous inventory was 2.1 million barrels of crude oil. So we'll see Wednesday at 10:30, they will be releasing the inventories. So this will directly impact the supply and demand of crude oil globally. So we'll take a look at how that is, and make sure to pay attention to your higher time frame charts on crude oil. Make sure you have your higher time frame levels all set up and you're waiting for the volume to trade into those levels. We do have FOMC speakers throughout this entire week. So we have Cook and Bowman speaking at 11 a.m. Eastern and 12:15 p.m. We have a Bank of Japan announcement. It's tentative, doesn't give us a time, but it is the futures market on Wednesday. So this could be 8 p.m., 8:30, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It could be released at any time. You've got the Bank of Japan Governor Ueda speaks, so Wednesday. So if you're trading the yen, prepare for volatility with this announcement right here. Okay, let's move into Thursday of this week. In the European session, we don't have much going on in the European session in London. We do get our unemployment US claims every single Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Previous last week's unemployment was 217,000. So the forecast is 220. It's an increase of 3,000 individuals applying for unemployment week over week. We'll see what the actual number is when they release it Thursday morning. We also have our Philly Fed manufacturing index. We have FOMC member Hammock speaking at 8:45. And then we move into Wall Street, also our 10 a.m. We've got consumer confidence report, our U.S. existing home sales. We do have natural gas storage. And you can see that there's continuous FOMC members speaking about U.S. monetary policy throughout the week. We've got Goolsby, Hammock, Barr speaking at 12:25, 12:30, and after hours at 4:40. And then we move into Friday. Friday is going to be a big day news-wise, starting with flash manufacturing throughout Europe, leading into North American session. So Friday morning, 2 a.m. pre-London, we have our British retail sales month over month. 3:15, we have our French flash manufacturing PMI and our French flash services PMI. At 3:30, when the London market opens up at 3, we've got German flash manufacturing PMI and German flash services PMI, and we also have the ECB President Lagarde speaking. So there will be a lot of volatility in London, and continuing at 4 a.m. European flash manufacturing, flash services. We have 4:30 a.m. Eastern, British flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI. You got your Swiss Chairman Schlegel speaking at 7:40 a.m. And then we move finally into the North American sessions. And we also have red folders in Canada at 8:30. We have our core retail sales month over month, our retail sales month over month. And then finally at 9:45, when Wall Street market opens at 9:30, 15 minutes later, we have our US flash manufacturing PMI. We can see that the previous flash manufacturing PMI was 48.5. They're forecasting a slight increase to 48.8. Remember your psychological number, 50%. With these readings, flash services PMI also, is it above 50 or below 50? And if you click on the folder, it's a level of diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers and manufacturing industry. Actual greater than forecast is good for the currency that it's observing. So in the US, it would be for the US dollar, and any other European currency would be how it would impact that currency. Above 50, this is that psychological 50. So above 50 indicates industry expansion, below indicates contraction. So is the industry expanding? We will see a number above 50, and that would be good for the US dollar. Or is the number below 50 and the industry is contracting? Then we might see a bear signal for the US dollar. Okay. Why do traders care? It's a leading indicator of economic health. Businesses react quickly to market conditions, and their purchasing managers hold perhaps the most current and relevant insight into the company's view of the economy. This is really useful too full details for US flash manufacturing PMI. So if we click on it, we can see there's your 50, your baseline, and 2016 we can see when the industry was expanding, we were above 50, 52, it got as high as 55 in 2018, 2019 kind of stabilized on here, and then we had the big dip. This is when industry was contracting in 2020 in March. This is when the pandemic started, right over here, and you see how it went down to 37, and also April, May when the pandemic went down to 40. So we were in contraction. The industry recovered in 2020 July and continued to push up to the low 60s, and you can see going into 2022, 23, and where we are right now. So we're kind of below 50 still. So industry is slowly contracting. We're going to see in the next few months, can we get it above 50 and see industry expansion, or is it going to continue to contract down here? Okay, so this is a neat little tool that you can use. And remember, above 50 indicates industry expansion, below indicates contraction. Okay, and then you can see all of the previous data over here. You can see the previous forecast and the actual numbers that did come out. Okay, and then there is related articles if you do want to read. So Friday will be very volatile this week. It treat the Friday with proper risk management, and you have a lot of red folders starting all the way in the London session leading into North America. Okay, let's just talk about earnings real quick. Going into tomorrow morning, we got Tuesday pre-market. We have a lot of retail big box stores reporting. We have number one Walmart tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. We've got Lowe's companies, Workhorse Group. So there's a lot of retail big box this week, so that could give us an indication of how consumer spending is doing. We have earnings per share for Walmart 0.53 cents and revenue estimate of $167 billion. So we'll see, will they exceed these estimates? Will they not? We'll see tomorrow morning. Make note of time. Walmart is 7 a.m. and Lowe's is 6 a.m. Eastern. Tuesday after hours, we've got Powell Industries. Again, I look for the big names. If they're not significant names, I don't pay too much particular attention. I pay attention to the names that I know. Like, for example, the Walmart and Lowe's. Not too much going on Tuesday after hours. Let's move into Wednesday pre-market. These are names I'm familiar with. So Neo Inc. This is basically the Chinese Tesla electric vehicle over here. We'll see how they're doing. Target Corporation, again, these are our big box retailers. We have some Target locations closing down due to restructuring and bankruptcies, and we'll see how it will impact their revenue, their earnings per share over here. And then the big name this week is Wednesday after hours. So if everyone can make note of Wednesday after hours, Nvidia, part of our Magnificent Seven, and they're trading at all-time highs right now. They report earnings at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Wednesday afternoon. We're looking at 74 cents earnings per share and a revenue of almost 33 billion quarter over quarter, which is really good. They've exceeded their revenue quarter over quarter. Analysts keep raising the target, raising the bar, and we'll see if Nvidia can continue to knock this out of the park. So this one, the entire markets will be paying attention to. If you trade the S&P, NASDAQ, big indices can be heavily impacted by the move of Nvidia. So make note, Wednesday after hours, 4:20 p.m. Eastern. Nvidia has earnings. We've got Snowflake, Jack in the Box, but Nvidia is our big name Wednesday after hours and for the entire week. That's one big name that I will be focusing on. Thursday pre-market, we've got Deere and Company, okay, agriculture over here. Again, retailers, BJ's Wholesale Club, And we move into Thursday after hours. Gap, retailers, clothing, Ross stores. So you can see that there's a lot of retail stores, and we'll see retail spending. And we're also going to pay attention to retail spending these holiday season, going into Christmas and going into January, December, January, and into the new year. So it's good to know about consumer spending, because that's how we figure out how it impacts the entire economy. Is the economy doing good? Are we going to see a recession? Are consumers spending money? Are they not spending money? Are they saving money? Are they investing? Things like that. So we'll take a look at all of those things. And then finally, to move into the end of the week, Friday morning, just a few names here, no big names in particular that could move the entire markets. Friday is news-wise on Forex Factory. There's a lot of flash manufacturing news that will impact the markets. And Friday after hours, not much going on. It will be the weekend. And one thing, let's look at the US dollar, how it's trading. So I'm on the daily time frame. And last week's analysis, what we saw was this area of resistance right here, back in 2023. So sorry, over here. This was April of 2024. We'll look at that zone, but there was this higher high zone right here. This was October of 2023. So almost this time last year, we had this big resistance, this 107. So if you remember last week's analysis video, we were looking for the US dollar to trade right into that supply zone. And in fact, it did, and it's pulling back a little bit. So there is also this zone, and we close below it. So we're going to see, will the US dollar maybe sell off a little bit more down into 104, 105, and we'll see if it can maybe hold here, right over here, and hold this zone. If not, can it make a higher low and continue pushing and closing above these critical resistance levels? So this big red box is the 107. This was from October of 2023, and then you got this lower high right here of April of this year, 2024. We broke right through it, and then we've been pulling back right now. So we got to see, will the US dollar continue to sell off this week, maybe leading into that Friday flash manufacturing, or are we going to find a bottom somewhere around here and then continue to trade up into that 2023 supply and see if we can make either one of these zones an area of interest of demand, and maybe we can start pushing our way up to potentially 109, psychological 110 on the US dollar. So the US dollar has been very strong as of late, where it made this nice big push right here. The pullback was a healthy pullback and continued to make those higher highs. And right now we could be pulling back to find where we can find some support, maybe at 105.50 right here, and see if we can make our way back up, hold this position, and make our way to 109. Okay, guys, so that's our weekly analysis for this week. Pay attention to the Forex Factory news, especially Friday of this week with all of the flash manufacturing. Big days are tomorrow morning of earnings with Walmart and Lowe's, and then Wednesday after hours with Nvidia. Okay, and guys, make sure to join us on our free blog at stocksniperstrading.com and check out all of our educational blogs here. We're gonna have educational blogs with videos breaking down every other day on YouTube. Okay, guys, and also Wednesday we also have our live webinar that we will be having with you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay, thanks, guys. We'll see you guys again. Have a good day.